Що там?
Posted by Reddit user Lucky1196, there might be more than meets the eye. At first glance, it seems to be a harrowing video of somebody's last moment. But when we take another look and slow it down, it starts to make less sense. The figure is milky white all over, almost glowing, and usually, as a commenter pointed out, if somebody were to be jumping from that height, they would calmly stroll to the edge and tip off the edge. They also wouldn't fade as they fell. Something definitely isn't quite right here. But what do you think? Raw paranormal footage or some very clever editing skills? Let us know in the comments section. The following scary video was captured at stupid o'clock in the woods near Flassy, France, when a group of friends decided to set up a campfire and crack open a few cold ones. They were all a bit tipsy when the two girls of the group spotted what they initially assumed to be a dog. Little did they know, that was the day everyone would witness a close encounter with their worst nightmare. Take a look.
Vous avez vu un truc encore bouger?
Bon, toi là.
Il y a un truc là-bas?
Il y a un truc derrière là.
Attendez. Minou, j'ai trouvé ta mère.
Putain!
Putain. Il est mignon le chat.
Ouais, il est un peu gros le chat, j'aime pas ça. Ouais, je vais me barrer. Oh, non?
Bah y'a un... Bon, c'est deux fils de gueule.
Mais pourquoi t'as laissé tomber la torche?
Pour éclairer, putain!
Attends, je vais filmer sa mère.
What fresh hell is that? Did you see the long ass fingers? No wonder the girl started freaking out with the way that thing was lurking behind the tree. The video ends abruptly, so no idea what happened after that, but we could hear the distress in their voices at the very end. The quality makes it quite difficult to get any defining features of the uninvited guests. But what we can see is the oversized head, large dark eyes, and a long, bony hand. With that said, we came up with a few theories. First, on the skeptical side, it could be one of their friends in a costume, or maybe some creepy CGI. The obvious signs that come with it would be hidden by the poor video quality after all. But what if this video is real, and that was a creepy dude in the woods, watching them and waiting for the right moment to do whatever the hell creepy dudes like to do at stupid o'clock? Heck, could they have somehow managed to catch a real life cryptid on camera? Analysing their reactions and the creepy humanoid figure, which one do you think happened here? Vampires may be rumoured to not appear in reflections and photos, but perhaps photos are the best way of figuring out if you're being haunted by a sinister force. This was the experience of a TikToker named Kel Flynn, who now fears she may have attracted unwanted attention. See if you can figure this out before we explain it. Hint lies in the photo.
Take a look at my face right here, smiling. This is not my real smile, okay? I was joking around. Look at this. And now look at my face in the fucking reflection. I'm sorry. The is that? That's some fucking truth or dare smile right there. That is not that.
Kel Flynn, the owner of the photo, explains that she was out shopping for a bridesmaid gown and decided to pick something for her sister who was at school and couldn't be present for the occasion. She simply took the picture and sent it forward to her. Only thing is, when her sister went through it, she replied, telling the TikToker that the picture was possessed, and we couldn't agree more. The smile reflected on the back mirror from the one she faces carries a much creepier smile than the real one she has. All you gotta do is study the facial expressions on both faces. In the real smile, she has a funny smile with her teeth showing as she explained to be joking around. But in the reflection, she has a more sinister smile with her mouth shut. Could this be the much needed alert that she might have a stalker from the other side? It would be very difficult to pull a stunt like this off, and her expression, while explaining the video, shows absolute confusion and dread.
One of the most mundanely spooky things in the world is the space that lurks between our cupboards and walls. You never know what could be hiding there. While it's usually just a mixture of dust bunnies and sheer paranoia for most, this kid realised he wasn't so lucky when he recorded this scary video in his bedroom. That looks like a mass of long, black hair. Unless he's house sharing with Samara from The Ring, there's something bizarre going on here. We don't get a good look behind the cupboard, even when he pulls it away from the wall. But it's pretty clear that there was nowhere near enough space for a head to fit in that tiny gap. Did he just accidentally manage to capture one of the best pieces of footage featuring ghostly apparitions on camera? Or could this be a well-edited, spooky-wooky video? Either way, I bet you would have jumped out of your skin if you caught that too.
Sometimes, store security cameras catch the stuff we would rather not know about. Check out this clip, posted by Barnsley Antique Centre. Either there was something extremely wrong with the air that day, or there was something spooky going on. There's even slow motion footage from a different angle, but it's not just the cabinets taking a beating either. According to the channel, that lamp was pretty heavy, so there's no way it could have fallen on its own, unless someone pushed it. But they also claim that the shop was empty that night, and to be honest, who would be inside an antiques shop at 4 o'clock in the morning? And they just kept catching paranormal activity day after day. According to the owners, that picture frame was fixed onto a brass hook, so what the hell yanked it off? Next, another picture fell off of its rack. Only this time, people were around, and their reactions seem pretty genuine. They're all clearly dumbfounded, but they couldn't figure out how the picture fell at all. All they could do was stare blankly at one another. Here's another clip of what happened with some customers in store. At first, it seems like it could just be the breeze, but after all the activity that we've already watched, we can't rule out the paranormal either. And then, as if it couldn't get any worse, the toys got involved. Apparently, the shop owner found Bambi on the floor and thought it was best to rewind the CCTV footage to see what happened. At exactly 2:59 AM, the toy rocked until it clattered to the ground. But the weirdest was still yet to come. Was this proof of fairies and orbs? Or just proof that the building really needs an extermination team? We'll leave it up to you to decide.
If you thought the Paranormal Activity franchise was frightening, wait until you watch the brutal supernatural events that have been plaguing this poor Brazilian family. It all started when they suffered an unspeakable tragedy, losing one of their own at the hands of a merciless intruder. But, as they would soon realise, their departed brother may not have crossed over to the other side just yet. And boy, does he have some unfinished business. The fear has been palpable ever since, especially in the bathroom, where their sibling took his last breath. A true paranormal hotspot which now serves as a portal to the unknown. The echoes of terror still linger within its walls, mainly affecting the boy's sister, who claims to feel unseen hands grasping at her flesh when she's in the shower. Priests have failed and fled from the malevolent force that haunts the place. And as the family desperately searches for answers, their last hope is to seek the help of this team of paranormal investigators. But the horrors that lie ahead are beyond comprehension, so hold on to your seat and get ready for this burst of poltergeist fury.
Você falou que o seu irmão morreu aqui nessa casa, né? Tiraram a vida dele dentro de um banheiro. Tem como me mostrar onde foi esse banheiro? Só aqui no banheiro ali. Esse aqui, né?
Aí, já começou! Por favor, minha mãe morreu! Como você vai me deixar em paz?
Se acalma, se acalma. Meu Deus, cara. Calma, calma. Respira fundo. Respira fundo, respira fundo, calma. Ó, ele só quer assustar, entendeu? Só quer te deixar desequilibrado, entendeu? Quer fazer com que a gente fique assustado, entendeu? Nervoso. Respira fundo, fica calmo, entendeu? Pense em Deus, pense em coisas boas, tá bom? Tá bom? Respira fundo.
A gente tá aqui contigo.
Isso, calma. Viu? Ele só quer tentar assustar a gente. É só mais um desequilibrado, só isso, tá certo? Você tem condições de continuar? É porque é importante. Tem, não tem? Pronto. Me mostra como foi que o seu irmão faleceu. Calma, calma. Calma, calma. Pera. Calma, fica calma.
Respira, entendeu? Olha pra mim, ó. O que foi isso, Vitor?
O espelho quebrou sozinho. Meu Deus.
Registra isso, câmera. Tô arrepiado, cara.
Vai, filma aí.
Tu viu isso? Olha isso aí também, Paulo. É isso que é,
Toma o espelho, o espelho, também o espelho, o espelho. Toma o espelho, aí.
Não, é isso aí. Você tá fazendo oração.
É isso, gente. Meu Deus.
Ei, Vitor, caminhando.
Esse não, pega uma cadeira aí. Já tá bem nessa cadeira?
Respira, respira, respira. Ó, vai ficar tudo bem, tá?
Mas fala aí, Vitor, pega uma cadeira.
Pense em coisas boas, coisas positivas, né? Foca em Deus. Olha pra mim, olha pra mim. Olha pra mim, né? Pense em coisas boas, tá bom? Foca, olha pra mim, ó. Respira fundo, respira fundo, respira. Respira, pense em Deus, o quanto Deus é maravilhoso, o quanto Deus é poderoso, entende? Nesses momentos a gente tem que focar e se concentrar no... Vai, senta aqui, ó. Outra cadeira. Vem. Senta.
Tô arrepiado, cara.
Ó, olha pra mim. Calma, calma, respira. Respira. Não filma mais ela não, vai pra ali, vai. Vou conversar com ela. Olha, pense em coisas boas. Pense em Deus, tá?
After all these violent happenings, the girl, clearly panicking, had to be taken outside to calm down while the group conducted a seance. They thought they were safely locked away from the bathroom until this happened, and they lost their cameraman.
A gente já viu várias manifestações. Eu queria deixar claro para vocês, pessoal, que esses fenômenos são conhecidos como poltergeist, pessoal. De um espírito obsessor, muito conturbado, descontrolado, muito revoltado mesmo. E a gente vem aqui, né, Vitor, né, Paulo? Humildemente pedir para vocês, pessoal, não julgar, pessoal, porque muitas vezes isso pode estar acontecendo na sua casa, na sua cozinha todas as noites, e você não percebe. Pare para pensar, as noites, os pratos se mexendo, as coisas acontecendo. Por isso a gente vem pedir, pessoal, para vocês não julgar, viu?
Eu vi desespero, né, amigo, quando ela ficou? Chorando.
Chorando, ela teve que sair, ela saiu às pressas daqui.
Bem melhor, pessoal, ela sai.
Tá aí, gente, ó. Aí é pra vocês verem, né, ó. Direto, acontece. Pega ajuda aqui, não. Pega, calma, respira. Respira. Segura aqui a fumadora, segura.
According to them, the air was thick with negativity, and the urge to vomit washed over them like a tidal wave. Thankfully, one of them is a first aider, so they all left the place for a couple of hours to ensure the cameraman was safe and sound, before they made another attempt to conduct the seance. But as soon as they started, things took a turn for the worse. Watch.
Provavelmente, Marcos, eu sei que você tá aqui. Sei que você tá vendo aqui. Eu não quero que você veja isso como algo pra zombar de você ou algo assim parecido. A gente quer um contato. Humildemente, meu irmão tá aqui para tentar ter um contato com você. Então você pode se aproximar da gente, né? Pode tentar conversar com a gente, entendeu? Pode tentar manter uma faixa mental junto com a gente. Se aproximar também do aparelho, se você se sentir à vontade. E uma coisa eu te peço, né? Tente se comunicar com a gente, porque a gente está querendo, né, entrar em contato com você. A gente sabe como foi que você desencarnou aqui de uma maneira violenta, e a gente sabe que você é desequilibrado, realmente você é, né? Você está agredindo a gente, entende? Então, se concentra, né? Se aproxime. A gente vai emanar energia para você e tente se comunicar com a gente, ou em toque, ou em conversa, né? Ou em energia, mas tente se comunicar com a gente, beleza?
Que a gente não sabe, né, com que forma ele vai vir, como ele vai reagir,
Isso. Se você quiser se materializar em cima do Paulo, pode se apresentar aqui, né? Concentre sua energia. Se quiser pegar no braço do Paulo, na perna dele, no pescoço do Paulo, né? Vai, Paulo. Fica à vontade. Se concentra. Tenta pegar no pescoço do Paulo. Meu Deus do céu. Olha, ó. Meu Deus. Você não vai assustar a gente, entendeu? Deus é poderoso, Deus é maior que você. Você não é maior que Deus. Você não é maior que Deus. Você não é maior que Deus. Deus é muito maior que você. Você não vai assustar a gente. Você não vai assustar a gente.
Ele tá querendo desafiar, mano. Acho que ele pensa que a gente quer bater de frente com ele.
Tô me tremendo todinho, cara. Olha isso, ó. Filma isso, câmera. Tô me tremendo todinho. Olha isso, susto que eu levei. Quebrou tudo, ó. Olha aqui, ó. Mostra aqui, ó. Mostra, vem, mostra. Ó. Quebrou tudo, gente, ó.
One thing that makes this activity more compelling is the fact that they were pretty quick to show us that there are no mechanisms attached to the drawers, and there's no way a string could achieve that violent slamming, especially when the drawers are clearly heavy and hard to move. But what do you think of all these creepy events? Is it a family haunted by their past, or some blockbuster level special effects? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to their YouTube channel for more terrifying footage like this.
Sometimes when you turn your stereo up full blast, you might not just be disturbing your neighbours. As it turns out, some paranormal beings might not be your biggest fan either. Take a look what happened when these guys went a little overboard with their tunes.
What is it? You want to hear that? There's like banging outside, but my neighbor's fucking with us or something. This for being too loud.
It wasn't uncommon for their neighbours to complain about the loud music, but this time, after hearing somebody banging on their window, they started recording to prove that their music wasn't that loud at all. But as soon as they went outside to check, what looked like one of his weird neighbours was watching from behind the shed. Scared, he cut the footage out abruptly by accident, and unfortunately, we have no idea what happened next. But can you imagine going outside at night to find this shadow weirdo hiding behind your shed? No thanks.
Do you remember that adrenaline rush you used to get when you were a kid, every time you had to switch off the lights at night? How many times did you sprint up the stairs, terrified of being followed and touched by something you couldn't see? Perhaps you still do. But if you don't, you'll probably start doing it again after watching this scary video. Take a look. Did you see the shadow bastard following him up the stairs? Some commenters seem to believe that this is just computer-generated imagery, and they might be right. But there's something terrifying about the way this creepy-ass shadow moves. The door swinging both ways could be done by using software masking techniques. There seems to be two tiny jump cuts before and after the movement. Another way to fake the door movement could be by using two strings pulled by two different people behind the walls on both sides. But after seeing that horrific face, that most certainly does not look human. Screw debunking theories. Just the slight chance that could be real paranormal evidence would be enough to send shivers down your spine if you ever considered moving to this allegedly haunted house. Though the scariest part here was how he nearly clocked himself over the head with the door frame. What a giant ass dude.
This mind-boggling footage was leaked from a US military installation. The team were deployed in a forested area and decided to start settling in for the night. While the rest snored away, two poor souls were left on lookout duty. As they tried to keep their drooping eyelids from sealing shut, they noticed something that shocked them straight out of their half-slumber. But it wasn't any kind of regular threat like an animal or some kind of gang, no. It was something much, much weirder than that. Take a look.
This is a U.S. Army restricted area. You cannot be here.
The precise location in the video is still unknown, but presumably it was somewhere in the US. The video is somewhat short and has awful quality, but you can see a strange figure poking its head out of the tree line. It does seem a bit sus that the thing keeps just repeating the same exact movements without advancing or retreating in any way, but the military seems stumped enough to be on high alert. This kind of extraterrestrial looking being has been spotted before in a few other locations. Check out this video caught at around the same time as the American military by a dude and his dog on a snowmobile in the Canadian wilderness.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what's back here. Yeah.
barking at? I think he sees something back here. What are you barking at? Holy crap! Holy crap! Did you see that? No. Dude, holy crap, it's standing right on the left wall. Holy.
That's either a pretty ugly ghost or an alien if we've ever seen one. The figure has a similar skin tone to a Caucasian human and huge cavernous eyes. Oh, and a massive head. Classic alien behaviour, really. The guy wasn't able to catch any more footage of the creature, so we have no idea if it was some kind of prank or a setup for both of these. Do you think that these clips could be proof that the alien invasion has already happened? Or is there something more logical that explains these clips?
House hunting is usually pretty stressful for everyone involved as it is. With all the viewings, paperwork and organisation, it can play havoc with your senses. Especially when the house you're looking at already seems to belong to someone, or something else. In a Reddit post, this estate agent went to record a video house tour of a vacant luxury property on her own, and she noticed a few things that made her hairs stand on end. Like light bulbs with minds of their own, strange creaks echoing through the house, the toilet flushing, and even the clear voice of a man answering the phone. Why she didn't just turn on her heel and get out of there immediately, we will never know. But she recorded a few minutes of video and soon ran for the hills. She kept the footage under lock and key because of her professional ties, but after a bit of coaxing, she uploaded it. And while it doesn't show everything she described in the post, it makes it all a damn sight more believable.
Wow, it's 10 p.m. and my day was fully booked with showings of this vintage 1963 bungalow. Go ahead, do it again. You're on camera. Open this door. Go ahead, open this door. Open this door like you did the other one. Come on, just move the glass or something. Go ahead, do it again. I'm not scared.
We've discussed swinging doors 1,001 times on this channel, But this time it seems something else was at play. She went right up to the door, showed the hinges and everything. To make the scenario even more concrete, she took a tour through a lengthy segment of the house before leaving, and we can hear from her footsteps that the house is empty and echoey. So surely if someone were lurking behind the door ready to open it, we would have heard a faint shuffle away at the very least.
Vintage 1963 bungalow.
Considering her footsteps are so loud. We can also tell she had genuinely just gone there on her own to work because of her little Starbucks and paperwork setup. To tender the point even further, she was reluctant to share the footage because of potential clients seeing it and losing interest. The problem also wasn't posted directly to a ghost-themed forum, it was posted on her r/realtors. She thought there might be someone hiding inside the property, but considering the door opening on its own and the other strange comments she made about the house, such as the man's voice on the phone and the house becoming colder at random points, there is a wide avenue for this video to be of paranormal persuasion. What do you think?
On the list of places people would say first when they think of the word haunted, a Subway takeaway would probably be pretty damn low, but that might change after you see this creepy video.
Subway at Memorial Hospital, and there's been reports of ghost activity. Maybe we'll get lucky and capture a ghost. It's ghost of a little girl. Oh my god, there she was.
What the hell was that? The video being taken in a desolate hospital cafeteria ups the creepy points. The figure looks human in shape when you slow down. You can even see its arms moving as it sprints past. However, with no real background to delve into other than the guys mentioning reports of paranormal activity, the trail goes cold. Nothing has been posted on this YouTube channel for over 10 years, and we also have no idea which hospital this is. So we can't even look into the claims that this subway has multiple sightings of what the video claims is the ghost of a little girl. Has Subway started employing speedy ghost runners? Or was someone getting fancy with video editing? Let us know your thoughts. On the 28th of December 1984, a group of teenage boys were driving down a dark, misty road when something truly tragic happened. Their car lost control, veered off the road at a sharp turn, and crashed into a group of trees. The police were quick to the scene, but sadly, one of the boys, John Bolaware, reportedly passed on from the accident. While the event was truly heartbreaking, it was what one of the officers captured that night that's left people shaken and scratching their heads for answers to this day. Take a look.
Imagine capturing a soul, leaving a body, screaming. This real-life story will send chills down your spine. The image that you're looking at reveals a very chilling manifestation. Above the hood of the car, a profile of a boy's face, screaming. Many believe it was John's soul leaving his body.
As the police worked to rescue the surviving teens and document the crash, one of them snapped a photo, and in that photo, something eerie appeared. Hovering above the wreck was a faint, ghostly face. Many believe that this was John's spirit, captured at the very moment it left his body. While skeptics, of course, argue it's just a trick of the light, maybe a glare from emergency vehicle beams or the camera flash bouncing off the mist and glass. But here's the scary detail. The figure bears an uncanny resemblance to John himself. So, did they accidentally photograph a soul crossing over into the great beyond? Or is this just another one of those optical illusions that the brain can't help but turn into something more? We'll let you decide.
Anyone who's watched the Harry Potter films or read the books has wanted the invisibility cloak at some point in their lives, and it looks like the person in this video managed to get their hands on it. While checking over some CCTV, this figure was spotted fading in and out of existence, seemingly. What the hell is that? With CCTV cameras, you can never be sure of what you see unless you know exactly what make of camera it is. Except here, we have no clue. For all we know, it could be some cheap tap from Wish or something, which is why the figure is phasing in and out of reality. But how does a figure just vanish completely on camera? Do you think this is some kind of technology defect, or something much more sinister? Let us know in the comments.
It is never a good idea to visit dark, shady places at any time of the day, especially if you are alone. Whatever you have heard about, paranormal or not, such secluded areas can turn out to be terrifying. So, to be on the safe side, it is always better to stay away. Perhaps this small boy didn't know it, and we still can't understand what made him enter this storeroom all alone. Was he trying to be brave? Or was he just plain ignorant of what was lurking in the dark? Whatever be the case, this room proved to be a paranormal hotspot. Watch how sinister some areas can be, even in broad daylight. This child is collecting something from the room, and that's when weird events start to unfold that eventually makes him run in fear. We are pretty sure whatever lived inside the room did not want the child to take away anything. That's the thing with the paranormal. Apparently, investigators often claim that supposed ghosts don't want to let go of anything that's in their possession, whether it is human or a room full of junk. Watch how the entity living inside tries to scare the boy away. Let's appreciate the courageous child as he isn't willing to leave the room despite knowing that someone or something is there that does not want him to be in that room. Still, he keeps collecting things, and finally, the entity loses patience. Keep your eyes peeled as the worst is yet to happen. Andrew never believed in the paranormal, but when he and his friend started hearing strange noises echo through the night just outside the house, they had to investigate it. Unfortunately for them, they never expected to witness a night that would turn so terrifying, a night they will never forget. Here's the footage.
Out in the woods. This is Andrew. I haven't actually introduced him yet, but there it is. You hear that? That's the noise. Eric refused to come back out after our last experience, so we've been following this noise back here. You can hear it. Okay, we just need to be quiet. We need a light. Do you see that up there? What is that? Hey, do you have a light? Shine it up there. What? Look.
Look. My camera's not picking it up.
No.
I definitely...
It comes right here. Look. What's that red?
What is this?
Is that a house? That's a freaking house.
It looks like.
There is no house on my property. I've never seen. There's no way that this is real. Here, go forward. There's no way that this is real. I have been on every square foot of my property and never seen this before. Wait. Be cautious. Hey, keep your knife ready.
My camera's having a really hard time picking this up.
Can you see anything in there?
I can see it, yeah, but I don't know.
Just stay quiet. If we can hear that thing in there, we'll know it's in there for sure. Just keep moving. Did you just hear that? This thing has run at me before. This thing has come at me before. So I'm just warning you right now, stay cautious. If you see this thing, just turn around and run, all right? If it comes at you, just do whatever you can to get it off you. You can use the knife. Just... Is that the door? Wait a minute.
This is definitely the door.
Just wait. We have to make sure there's nothing in here. Just stay quiet. There's freaking graffiti on the walls. Nobody ever comes out on my property. Have people been coming out on my property?
It's like a barn.
What the heck is this? Are you freaking kidding me? People have been coming out on my property? How come I've never seen this house before?
Look at this.
How could I've never seen this before?
Kenny, get over it. This seems to be some sort of like kitchen. Well, at least what used to be a kitchen. Oh my gosh.
Just keep your light on.
I can't see anything. I don't have a light.
What does that say? Turn off the lights. Turn off your light. Just be quiet. Okay. We're gonna get up. And we're gonna walk out. We're gonna get up and we're gonna walk out. Okay. Let's walk out. Let's get it. Just go. He's gonna bring no light. Shh. Be quiet. If he can't hear us, it's not gonna find us. Which way do we come in? Where's the door? It's through here. Shh. Be quiet. What's that? Just be quiet. Shh. Let's go. You hear that? I think it's on the roof. The heck is that? Oh, shoot! Shoot! Just get out of the house! Just get back to the house! Jesus Christ, Jesus.
Andrew was a firm skeptic and refused to believe in his friend's encounters, even after seeing all the video evidence that would prove otherwise. Well, that was until he experienced it himself.
Did you hear that?
sure, the footage is quite unsettling and eerily reminiscent of something you'd see ripped straight out of a found footage horror movie akin to the Blair Witch Project. And let's also not ignore the fact that their channel has a good number of videos showing the same creepy creature supposedly captured outside his house. Skeptics would probably say it's a little sus how he managed to capture this creature on camera so many times, yet we never heard about it on the news. But on the other hand, we never know how the government would react to something like this. Probably sweep it all under the rug. Whether you believe it or not though, just imagine witnessing it with your own eyes. What would you do? To this day, nobody knows what happened since they stopped uploading over 8 years ago. But what do you think that these two friends managed to record that day? Do you believe this is video proof of the existence of the rake, aliens, or is this something else entirely? If so, what is it then? Let us know.
In 2016, Clyde the Clown made headlines after a video was posted on YouTube in which a creepy looking vintage clown-shaped doll was seen moving on its own. It turned out that the owner felt the clown came alive several times in a day, mainly when no one was around. So he decided to take other users' opinions and set up cameras. Naturally, the video sent shockwaves through the YouTube community and beyond. Are you ready to watch it? Keep your eyes peeled. Nothing seems wrong in the beginning. It looks like a harmless toy is sitting on a couch, but then Clyde slowly starts lifting its head. Watch if you dare. And then he moves his head again. This time, the movement isn't that subtle. It was indeed creepy and gave us some good old Goose pimples. What do you think caused the movements? Let us know in the comments below.
When the year draws to a close and the nights get colder and darker, there's no better time than stupid o'clock to go out exploring. At least, that's what the dude from Zona Paranormal Veracruz thought when he decided to investigate this notoriously spooky cemetery after rumors that it had been used by a mysterious group of people to perform strange rituals. But what he found during his investigation wasn't your average poltergeist opening a door or moving a statue. He found something a hell of a lot scarier. Take a look.
Me va la voz. Hola. Buenas noches. ¿Quién es?
By the looks of it, he accidentally stumbled into the occult.
Son dos personas, mi gente, son dos personas. Hola. ¿Quién es? Son dos viejitos, raza. Son dos viejitos. Oye, 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 ya le dijo, ya le dijo. Ya le dijo, ya le dijo. Ya le habló, mi gente. ¿Para dónde voy? ¿Para dónde voy? Hola.
In a desperate attempt to ward off any demons before it's too late, he decides to distract them.
¿Quién es? Buenas noches, disculpe. Ando explorando. No vengo a hacer ningún mal. Está tronando el árbol. Son unos señores. Vean esto, mi gente. Vean esto. ¡Hola! Ya está agarrando piedras aquel. Vean. Toda la brujería, mi gente. Vean toda la brujería que tienen aquí. Estas personas. ¿Qué están haciendo? Están haciendo daño. ¿A quién hacen daño?
And when his back is turned, he gets pushed even further into the cemetery.
¿Dónde estás? No te veo. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Me acaban de tirar, mi gente. Me acaban de tirar.
Scared, hurt, and lost as all hell at Stupid O'Clock, he begins to try and find his way back. Of course, this could all be easily staged, but we all heard the local stories of desecrated graves and pissed off gravediggers. What do you think? A brilliant idea to investigate a cemetery at Stupid O'Clock? Let us know.
Heather and her family were just like us, always sensing those tiny chills in the back of their necks when the house was seemingly empty. But they always brushed it off, thinking that it was just a bit of that good old paranoia. Well, that was until one day when Heather's daughter and her friend accidentally captured something on camera that would change their perspective on the paranormal forever. This is what they caught.
This is my daughter and her friend. Please watch closely between them. No one else was up in my home. Look between them right now.
Pretty much everyone dived straight into the comments section, warning Heather about shadow people. If you don't know much about them, shadow people are those dark, looming, human-shaped figures that you pray only exist in your nightmares. Often associated with, but not limited to, sleep paralysis syndrome. These mysterious sightings are not known to be harmful, but it doesn't make them any less spine-tingling to witness. Of course, it's possible that the figure was edited in after the video was taken, but with a deep dive onto their other videos, it's pretty clear that they would have no motive to fake this one. There's nothing paranormal about their channel, especially considering that such a perfect sighting would take a whole lot of skill and time to produce. Would they really go through all of that effort? Or is their house truly haunted? Let us know in the comments section. With the number of ghost hunters on the rise, mooching around in a graveyard at Stupid O'Clock seems to be a pretty common hobby these days. But sometimes you might stumble upon something you wish you never saw. Much like the guys over at Mysterio JL's YouTube channel, who got a little more than they bargained for on their midnight stroll.
Ay, ¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? Ahí. ¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? Ahí. Ahí se acaba de abrir esa puerta, culo. ¿Cuál, güey? Allí. ¿Cuál puerta? Allí, enfrente. ¿Cuál, güey? No veo ninguna puerta. Aquí, güey. Esto se abrió. Esto se abrió, amigos. ¿Neta? Sí, güey. No lo vi, güey. Ay, señor. No lo vi, güey. Amigos, esta puerta se abrió.
Güey, está muy vieja ya, rechina, ¿verdad?
Sí. Creo que sí lo grabé, güey. Es que aquí sigue, güey. Aquí sigue, colombiano. Aquí sigue. Aquí sigue con nosotros.
Buenas. ¿Dónde está el muñeco que se movió, güey?
Allá está, de aquel lado.
¿Dónde está?
Por acá, por este lado, güey.
Tengo que tocar el cuello. Aquí está.
¿Dónde está? ¿No es ese mono que está tirado ahí?
Ese es.
¿Vas a tocar el cuenco aquí?
Sí, güey.
Amigos, ese mono que estaba ahí, que está tirado ahí, ahorita en una transmisión se estaba moviendo, amigos.
Vamos a ver si se hace presente el niño con...
Se movió, culo. Se movió, culo. Se movió, güey. Se movió clarito, colombiano.
¿Sí lo captaste, güey?
Sí lo capté, güey.
Estoy viendo ya sombras alrededor, güey.
Ay, señor. Ahorita ese mono en una transmisión se estaba moviendo, amigos.
Aquí está el niño, güey.
Sí. Sí lo grabé. Sí lo grabé.
¿Niño? Se está moviendo solo.
Mira.
Se está manifestando el niño y agua con tu cuento.
Ay, señor.
Mira.
Está temblando, ¿verdad, colombiano? Está temblando, ¿verdad?
Güey, se está sacudiendo el mono. Mira. No puedes, no mames.
Güey, está temblando el mono, güey.
Mira, güey.
¿Qué es eso, güey? ¿Qué es eso, güey? No manches. No manches.
Mira. Bota, güey, ¿por qué?
No. No seas cañón. Ay, Padre Dios.
The pair recorded this clip directly after a Facebook live stream, and they'd certainly had their fill of strange happenings that night. If the bizarre movements of the stuffed toy are not enough to freak you out a little bit, wait until you see what they captured next, right in front of their eyes.
Aquí atrás. Aquí atrás. Colo.
Niño.
¿Qué pasó?
Vi algo ahí, güey.
¿Dónde?
Vi algo que se asomó ahí, güey. Vi algo que se asomó aquí en esta tumba, güey. Aquí vi algo que se asomó, güey. Te lo juro que vi algo aquí chiquito que se asomó, güey.
No manches, neta.
Sí, güey. Se movió algo ahí, güey. Se movió algo ahí, güey. Vi que se movió algo, güey.
No manches. Ay, no manches. ¿Se escuchó un ruido, güey? No mames. No mames.
En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu.
Oh, no manches. No manches.
Shortly after approaching the tomb, they heard a strange moan, almost as if there was a child nearby. But it was the aggressive jump of the orange car that made them dart out of there, never to come back. What do you think of these strange events? Could it be a child who's unable to rest? Or is there something fishy going on? Let us know what you think down in the comments.
The camera reveals what had other drivers so spooked that many online believe represents 666. Some took this as a clear sign of demonic possession. But how do you explain the figure seemingly phasing through obstacles? Also, did you spot how weirdly it moved across the deck?